There used to be a time when I welcomed the attention from a pretty blonde. There was also a time when people knew exactly who I was. None of this, you look familiar bullshit, but that's okay. I prefer it this way. I'd rather not have to answer their probing questions or see the flash of judgment in their eyes. I used to be the king of this city, but that's the problem with being the king. It's a long, hard fall from your throne. I guzzle down my whiskey and revel in the way it dulls the ache in my chest. The door to the bar bursts open and a gust of frigid air whips through the small room. A woman wrapped in a ridiculous floor-length bubble jacket stomps her boots against the wooden floor. Chunks of snow trail behind her as she makes her way to an empty stool. She's wearing a bright yellow beanie, complete with a furry pom-pom on top, and when she pulls it off, her dark brown hair sticks up in all directions. She slides off her giant coat, revealing an oversized, hot pink, fuzzy sweater, and shoves her yellow mittens into her pockets before hopping into her seat. This is what I miss about Manhattan. It's filled with quirky weirdos and no one bats an eye. She smiles at the bartender as she rakes her fingers through her long hair. "I'll take a glass of Pinot Noir, please." Her eyes dart around the room as if she's looking for someone. Her gaze lingers on me for a moment, and she must decide I'm not the one she's looking for because she looks away. The bartender fills a wine glass and places it in front of her. "Thank you." Dark lashes flutter against the stranger's rosy cheeks as her eyes close, and she takes 3 long gulps of wine. "Rough day?" the bartender asks. "No, just need to calm my nerves." Her eyes skate around the bar again. "I'm meeting someone here." The bartender smiles. "Someone special?" Why is everyone so nosy? She lets out an uneasy laugh. It's sort of a blind date." I cringe. Why would anyone go on a blind date? Do people really trust their friends that much? If I let my boys set me up, I'd end up sitting across the table from a man dressed as a pirate with black teeth, an eye patch, and a parrot on his shoulder for 2 hours while they snapped pictures from the other side of the restaurant. I've been terrified of pirates since my 4th birthday party when the impersonator showed up drunk and trampled my presents as he fell over and vomited on my cake. Pirates of the Caribbean is the equivalent of a slasher movie for me. At least, that's what my friends would have done back when we were still friends. Their check-ins have become less frequent over the years. They're moving on without me. I don't blame them. You ignore people's calls for long enough and they'll eventually stop calling. It's better this way. Better for them. After what I did, I don't deserve friends. The bartender leans her forearms onto the top of the wooden bar. "My sister met her husband on a blind date. Maybe you'll meet your happy ending tonight, too." The brunette snort laughs. Is your sister's husband a male escort that her best friend convinced her to hire when she was drunk so she didn't have to deal with her mother's ridicule for another year at Christmas dinner? What the? A male escort? The bartender's face mirrors my own bewildered expression. No, her husband's a dentist." Crazy lady shakes her head. It started as a joke, you know. My best friend Miles found this advice column called Dear Santa. People write in as if they're writing letters to Santa Claus telling him their woes and asking for advice. I'd had a bottle of wine that night, and I let Miles type up a letter about how I didn't want to show up to my mother's house this year alone. Again.